Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Your Excellency, the High Commissioner of Pakistan to Malaysia, the Pakistan Embassy staff, members present today, my dear colleagues, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Rafiq Fazal Din. I am a Malaysian and I am with the Malaysian Center for Policy Research. Thank you for inviting me today, Your Excellency. Kashmir is a fast becoming forgotten conflict, as many are now saying. It has gotten submerged in the wake of all other interesting fresh wars that have been brokered in recent years. Brokered meaning carefully planned and initiated by third parties to get ignorant infighting and killings inhumanly, especially in the Muslim nations. Look at what has happened and what is happening in the Arab Spring countries today. Therefore, much attention is now given to the more present wars, and there are daily updates how much the war is ravaging and counting the deaths from day to day. Then there are also groups who want to wage wars with the other nations who are termed as the axis of evil as part of their bigger agenda. Their agenda includes the hopes for regime changes and better control over the areas by their own factions. These groups are so powerful that they have put their events as their main daily agenda, and thus all mainstream media that is controlled by them is focused on this progression by default. I say this because I read volumes every day, and I do not see fresh news, issues on the atrocities that the people of Kashmir have to bear on a daily basis. It is not that it's not happening, it's just that it's gotten submerged, unfortunately. For the Indian oppressors, it is best to leave it like that. And this way, they can work their own quiet agendas to infiltrate and start changing landscapes over time when all is quiet on the front. This is despite the opposition, for as long as it does not get the world's attention through the mainstream media. Thus it is now becoming a true fact that Kashmir is indeed a forgotten conflict. It holds no urgency for the conflict to be resolved in the light of the present events. The continued operation does not get the limelight it should get internationally. The struggle needs to get to the hearts and mind of the world, as earlier mentioned by His Excellency. To the world bodies like the United Nations, the human rights groups, the Amnesty International, NGOs, and those who champion human rights. But there does not seem to be a built-up pressure on these matters. There doesn't seem to be an organized way of bringing these issues up. No adequate media coverage big enough to cover these sporadic and remote news from time to time. But if this scenario continues, then there shall be no light at the end of this grave situation. The fact will remain. About 1 million troops are now based in Kashmir. The people of Kashmir are under siege. Atrocities and violation of human rights continues to take place by indiscriminate use of force and torture. More than 100,000 Kashmiris have been savagely killed in the struggle in the last 63 years. Death, torture and abuse have become the norm of everyday life of the Kashmiri community. And there are more than 300 detention centers in Kashmir, and little is known what goes on inside. Fake encounters and unlawful detentions so that death, torture and abuse have become the norm of everyday life of the Kashmiri community. It's a wonder that we have 1.7 billion Muslims around the globe, making up more than 26% of the world population. Indeed, we need to start by getting their attention. The continued awareness of this dire situation in occupied Kashmir will make a difference with their support. Officers in high offices, major NGOs and the countries concerned should take the matter up to the world's notice from time to time of this continued aggression. Pictures should be flashed to the Human Rights and Amnesty International to seek out the support relentlessly, as it has been done in the past. These bodies have been bold in must be bold in competing with the mainstream media that is now focused on the ongoing wars. There's a dire need to continuously create awareness to the international community to resolve the dispute in accordance with the aspirations of the people of Jammu and Kashmir as required under the UN Security Council resolutions made by the people of Kashmir in their struggle for the just and self-determination. There must be various media tools to be used to expose these atrocities at various different levels and groups, including students, professionals. This effort is sorely needed to revive the Kashmiri illegal occupation by the Indian Army for the last 63 years. I see that there are some Facebook sites, but aren't enough to champion the issue. Today, the computer is a very powerful tool to reach out to the millions out there. I, for one, plan to set up a local Facebook site in Malaysia with the hope that I can update the Malaysians and make aware the struggle of the Kashmiris. Also to highlight that history bears testimony to the fact that legitimate aspirations for freedom may be suppressed for some time but cannot be denied forever. That the Kashmiris are destined to exercise their inalienable right to self-determination, however difficult this proposition may seem to present. Inshallah, I hope and make dua that the Almighty take notes of our gathering today in remembrance on the plight of the people of Kashmir. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.